Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. You guys, this is the Thanksgiving edition 2020 and I am in my happy place and just wanted to share a few recipes with you guys as I prepare Thanksgiving dinner for our family. Of course, this year our menu has been significantly minimized or reduced because of our current situation. So we usually host Thanksgiving for our family, but what I'm doing this year, since we are not going to be with each other, my brother, a couple of my brothers and my dad, they're still here locally, so I'm fixing enough so they can at least have Thanksgiving at home with their families, and that's what we're doing now. So ironically enough, I've already started with my dry brine with my turkey. That's something new that I'm doing, so hopefully you guys have already seen that video. So I've started with my dry brine, and he's still, today is Tuesday, the 24th, and the turkey, he's just still hanging out in the garage in the refrigerator by himself. So since then, I have done my sweet potato pies. You guys, I started with my sweet potato pies because I just wanted to smell that aroma of Thanksgiving with my pies baking in the oven while I'm doing other things, okay? So right now we're going to make some collard greens. So I'm simply starting right now with an onion, and I'm just taking the skin off of my onion. And what I normally do is, because I have to fix so many collard greens, and you guys know fresh collards have to be cleaned. So what I usually do way in advance is I clean my collard greens and get them all cut up and chopped up, and then I blanch them and freeze them. So once I blanch them and put them in the freezer, when it's time to cook them, it's very easy just pull them out and then I can cook them. So because I did not need all of my bags that I had cleaned and cut and blanched, I just pulled out a few, and you will see the date on these are July the 9th. So these came out of someone that's very close to us, their fresh garden, and I was able to clean these and get these ready. So now that it's Thanksgiving, you know, it's one less thing that I have to do. And I don't know about you guys, I enjoy cooking, but I hate the part of having to clean the greens. I do, but I make sure that they are thoroughly cleaned, just like my hands. Wash your hands when you're in the kitchen. Don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands. Y'all already know that's just nasty. So my greens are thoroughly cleaned, and while I'm talking, I'm going to take, this is 2 cups of water. I want to go on and get it started while I am running my mouth, okay? So I'm just going to put 2 cups of water in my pot. I'm going to add my I have some smoked turkey legs here, some smoked turkey drumsticks that I'm going to add to that water. But before I do that, I'm just going to rinse them. I just have to, y'all. You may not think you need to, but somebody's hand's been on this, putting it in this package, and I just feel bad if I just rinse it out. I just do, okay? So I'm just going to rinse these really quick, just to make me feel better. Just to rinse them out. I'm telling you, it just makes me feel better, okay? So now that these are rinsed, I'm just going to put them in my pot, okay? So so I have put my 3 smoked turkey drumsticks in my pot, and like I say, I just started with 2 cups of water, because you really don't need a whole lot of water with collard greens, okay? And it really helps when you cook them in a good pot, to whereas they won't stick. So, but let me show you this right quick. When I blanch my greens and I freeze them, once I get all the water out, you guys, I wring them out into like little bitty balls. I just try to get as much water out of them as possible. So that's how I do. And I just have several little balls of collard greens that I've just squeezed the water out, and that's how I freeze them. Okay? So, but before I start to cook these, I want to get my water, the base of what I'm going to cook my collard greens in. I want to get that really, really seasoned. Okay, so as I've said, I'm going to start with, I have water in here, and then my smoked turkey legs. I have 1 onion, okay, and I'm just gonna cut it in some couple of big chunks, and I'm just gonna put it in the water. Okay, so I have that 1 onion. I'm going to use, I like to season my water, so I want it to have like a broth base, a chicken broth base. I love this Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken base. So I'm going to add, I'm just going to add let me see, this one's kind of low, so let me open my new one. I'm going to add, right now I'm just going to start with a tablespoon, because this can be this can be salty. So I'm just starting with 1 tablespoon to give my water, or the base of my greens, some flavor. Okay? So let me get all of that off this spoon. Okay. So, and you guys, I use the smoked turkey necks because, again, like I said, I'm cooking for my brothers as well. And one of my brothers in particular does not eat pork. So when I cook for them, I'm sorry you guys, I was hearing my phone go off. When I cook for my brother, I always try to take that into consideration, that he does not eat pork. Now let me wash my hands again since I touched this nasty phone. Okay. So I try to take that, I always take that into consideration, that he does not eat pork, so I always season it with something other than pork so him and his family can enjoy it as well. So I have that in the pot and it's starting to boil. I'm just going to kind of turn it down a little bit. Don't necessarily need it to boil. So I'm going to turn it on about a medium, okay? To season my greens, I used crushed red pepper, just a little bit. Just sprinkle just a little bit. I'm going to use onion powder. I'm using garlic powder. And I like to add just a little bit of liquid smoke. And then I have some sugar, just a little bit, okay? So we're not trying to make it sweet, but it's something about that sugar that gives it that balance with the salt, okay? So that's all we're going to do to season these greens, and then we will let them cook until they are tender. And then all of my other seasonings, let's see this. All of my other seasonings, I'm going to wait and add, because I want to add that to the top of the greens. That way, as they're cooking and steaming, it's like the flavors of the onion powder, garlic powder, and everything else will just kind of run through the greens, okay? So I'm going to let this simmer for maybe about 30 minutes, and then we will come back, and then I'll add my greens and then the other seasonings. Alright, you guys, we actually ended up simmering for at least an hour. And I'm going to just leave my smoked turkey legs in there and the onions and everything, okay? And now I'm just going to start adding my collard greens. And I'm probably going to have to let these cook down a little bit and then add more. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to let these start cooking down, but I still want to go on and add at least a layer of my seasonings now. Okay? So I'm going to start with just a little bit of crushed red pepper, a little bit of black pepper, this is onion powder. I'm going to add a tablespoon of onion powder. And this is garlic powder. We're going to add a tablespoon of garlic powder. Here's my sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit of sugar. And my liquid smoke. Shake it up. And just a little sprinkle of the liquid smoke. You don't want to go too heavy-handed with the liquid smoke either. That can be kind of strong. Okay? So, in the meantime, I'm just going to cover this and let it cook down some. And like I said, all those seasonings that are sitting on top of the greens will just kind of run down as it's cooking. And then once it cooks down enough, I'm going to come back and add the rest of my greens that I have in these little Ziploc bags. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes now, and I'm going to see if I can just kind of push these greens down. Let's see, looking like I may need a little bit more water. Let me get a couple more cups of water. Add a little bit more water. Don't want your greens to burn. Okay. When I move my greens around, I like to be able to see a little bit of water. And it had really cooked down. Okay. Y'all know we mean business. Done pulled out the big Thanksgiving spoon. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get the rest of these greens on top of here. Before I add that little bit of more greens, you guys, oftentimes I like to do this. Now, you know I just added more water. Let me kind of taste it, and that'll let me know kind of what else I need to add. Okay. Now, that's what you have to do when you cook. At least I do. I have to taste certain foods as I cook it to adjust my seasonings. Okay. All right. And these are all of my greens. You guys, I'm so glad I looked up because my camera had died. So I had not gotten too far. I had just finished adding the rest of the greens to this pot and then looked up and camera was off. Okay, so I had to run and get my cord. So now that all of my greens are in, I'm going to go back with some more seasonings. I had put 1 tablespoon of more garlic when I realized it had died, but you know what? I think I'm gonna put a little bit more. So we've added about another 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. I'm gonna add another 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Just a couple of more red pepper flakes, crushed red pepper flakes. Just a little bit of black pepper. And since I did add more water, I'm going to add some more of this better than bouillon roasted chicken base. I'm just going to add some of this as well and try to kind of get it down on the side where the water is. Again, you have to be careful with this because it can be salty. But just wanted to add a little bit more of that since I added more water. So now we are ready to just wait a minute, let me get just a little bit more sugar, and that's it. Okay. All right. So now we are ready to just let this cook down. Again, as it cooks, keep an eye on it. Make sure that your water doesn't cook out, because honey, ain't nothing worse than you realizing you smelling something burning. That is the worst. Okay. So we're just going to cover this up and let it do its thing. And then I'll come back in a little bit and just stir it and look at it, and I'll taste my water, and we'll see what else we need to add. Alright, you guys, we're checking in on the greens. And they've been cooking for at least 2 hours. And they are delicious. So at this point, there's nothing else I need to add. I did go in and pull some of the turkey off of the smoked turkey legs. I love seeing little bits of turkey inside my greens. So they are ready. You guys, these greens are absolutely tender and delicious. So now it's time to move on to the next dish. So coming up next, we'll be doing some potato salad. So you guys stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.